Salutations and welcome to the Rant Squad. I am the Water Dog. This is
Clint Jordan.
And this is
Bernard.
And we are going to be talking about Week 7, brother. We're going to talk about all of our fun surprises, who did what, where, when, and how. We're going to start with the winning teams. And for me, it's the Seattle Seahawks. They beat the Atlanta Falcons 34-14, and Geno Smith, believe it or not, leads the league in passing yards at 1,985 passing yards. And the Seahawks, after this game, find themselves in first place, of all things, first place in the NFC West at 4-3. How good are they?
I think they're better than average. I still don't know if they are a playoff team. I really like what I saw. I said I didn't think that team, they lost 3 straight. I just didn't see them losing another game when I picked them last week. They won convincingly. I think it's a little worrisome, depending on how long DK is out. But the offense has found its stride with Kenneth Walker. You know, you bring Zach Charbonnet in. He's the pass block. He's the third down. But Walker's the explosiveness. You got DK over the top. You got JSN in the middle, and you got Tyler Lockett underneath. This team definitely has the talent to be a playoff team, and at times they look it, and then in others they don't. But I think if Geno will be the key. There's no doubt in my mind. If he is successful, they will be successful. If he fails, they will fail. And it's not just because he's the quarterback, but it's just the way the team is built. It's going to be on his hands.
We're going to talk about him a little bit more because that's going to be one of our game picks. We got Seattle and Buffalo coming up. So
I think them being first right now in the division, we're going to find out a lot this week. San Francisco and Dallas.
Yep.
How they're banged up because Cooper Kupp is on the block for the Rams. They're listening to trade talks.
They said they would trade him. They didn't put him on the
But
block.
my point is this. I feel like the Rams are kind of out of it. And then you got the Cardinals.
I don't think they are because they've been at 2-4, and you're looking at Seattle 4-3, and you get on a 4-game win streak. All of a sudden, you could be winning that.
Are the Rams 2-4?
2-4.
I guess so. I think they're in prime position. I mean, what more can you ask for? The 49ers are.
That's what I'm saying. Seattle has a really good shot at winning this division.
I think it's a possibility, but right now we're looking at them, so I'm thinking they had the best week so far, especially. You're talking about the NFC West. That was a good week for them.
Oh, yeah.
Brendan, who you got?
So, with my surprise team, I picked them to win. It was the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I picked them because it was so nice to see Russell Wilson. It just seemed, there was moments, but he looked good, I feel, in that game. Better than he has in a long time.
He moved.
I think.
I thought
he moved.
I thought everybody keeps talking about moving, but I thought he moved well around the pocket.
As someone who has George Pickens, it was nice to see a quarterback go to get him the ball really well. He made great plays, don't get me wrong.
Pickens makes some catches.
But Russell Wilson played really good football. The defense played really good. They did get some interceptions off Rodgers. I'm not going on a Jets rant this week. Leave that for you.
Yeah, we'll wait for that one.
Because the 2 interceptions Rodgers did throw, I can't blame him. I don't know if they're really his fault.
The first one was.
He throws it in tight coverage, and then the other one I think is off Wilson. So, but to me, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they were able to run the football. Russell Wilson looked great, and that's what you wanted to see out of him. So that was just a surprise to see that team like that.
All right, Clint, who you got?
I'm gonna stick with the Steelers. I had picked the Jets to win. I thought the Jets for the first quarter and a half dominated this game. I mean, they were leading 15-6 and they were driving down. And that amazing pick by the Steeler, the rookie, where he reached back out of nowhere, was able to get that sparked the Steelers team. I don't know what it did, because I really thought Russell Wilson. The first half I was like, man, that's kind of rough. Until that 2-minute drive, he got in, and that's where he was comfortable. And, he's always been a really good red zone quarterback. That was, I think, the problem in Denver is they couldn't move the ball. There was just no cohesiveness there. And once we got into the second half, I really thought I saw Wilson getting comfortable. I don't know if he looked great, but he looked more comfortable. He's running that offense more efficiently.
He was better because I think they were moving him a lot more. So
and
he was able to. They rolled him out just a little bit to get him into.
I don't remember how many times I saw the play where they just rolled out and threw it to the tight end. And by the end of the game, it wasn't getting them many yards, but it was keeping that rhythm. Pickens I mean, what more do you say? The guy has made his career so far in the NFL on the amazing catches, and Russell Wilson's number one thing. He's known for the moon balls. And when those go up, that's more than 50-50 ball for George Pickens. So I think he finally has a receiver that's good at that. You know, I don't think he necessarily had that. Cortland Sutton, I don't think is a moon ball kind of guy, so maybe that's why that connection was never there. But yeah, Najee's playing the best he's played since his rookie year. Even the Steelers, I was listening to the game and they were talking about how they talked with Steelers fans this week and they said this is the hardest he's ran in years since Big Ben, was here his rookie season. So just the dominating fashion. This team is really starting to come together. And hats off.
5-2 because if you watched, did you see how they are all just come together after each play?
No, and what I was about to say. Hats off to Mike Tomlin because every single sports show I saw this week was, how are you doing this? How are you sitting your quarterback at 4-2? And he came out and he said, Jay Glazer said he talked with him and they said that he said I came into the season with 2 quarterbacks. I needed to see the second one. I'm not here to win games. I'm here to win championships, and I give him credit. That a heck of a
If
decision.
Wilson can get that offense and get a hair bit better, I think in the first half, that would be a scary team with that defense.
He did.
And I picked them on the basis that Russell Wilson was the starter. So we're going to see. We're going to see here over the next 3 or 4 games because, you come in, you got one game, not a whole lot of film with the team. It's like anything else. Once you get film on a team, then usually those things change. And so we're going to see how consistent the Steelers can be here over the next few weeks.
I think the Jets are just the broken Eagles of this year. They just find ways to lose, and that'll, perfect.
Well, let's talk about it. Here we go, losing team. Yes, it's the New York Jets, and they suck. Brendan, who was yours?
That's more, we don't need to say anything. We're done with Jets. Listen, I'm done. I just cursed. I'm sorry. I'm done. You have to bleep that. I'm not sticking a fork in them like old Jimmy Johnson does, or what. But I'm over it.
You know what would solve the Jets' problems? I can tell you right now what will solve all of their problems. And Woody Johnson, if you're listening to me,
He's not.
go get Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb. Because that's what Aaron Rodgers needs, is a support group of guys when they all were good. Because, the Jets.
I have no doubt he's got a top 5 receiving core in the league now. It's crazy.
I just don't understand their offensive
to me,
scheme. Their offensive scheme just sucks.
And I know Derrick Henry's great. Brees Hall's best running back in football. Receiving, running, you got the best running back. I think you have 2 great wide receivers.
But they've got no scheme. Everything is just vanilla.
It's
I mean, their whole offense is vanilla.
You want to fire the offensive coordinator, but you get fired. I don't know what to tell you on that one.
I don't know. They suck. All right, who you got, Brendan?
Mine is the Atlanta Falcons. I think, at home to lose by 20. I picked them to win, so that's kind of upsetting me. But to lose by 20, the turnover game. 2 interceptions, a lost fumble, the penalty yardage. You're at home. You shouldn't lose this game by 20. And so that was just surprising to me because I thought, that this would be more a competitive game between these two, and it really wasn't.
No, Seattle just dominated,
Yeah.
especially in the second half.
Oh yeah, the second half.
The second half is where you just blew off the rails and
didn't even need me to be
yeah, that was there. Clint, who you got, brother?
Just because the way they lost, I got to put it on the Chargers. I was really surprised. The Kyler and the Cardinals hadn't been playing good football. James Conner's been the best player on that team, but just the missed opportunity. You had the D lineman pick off the ball. Looks like they're going to have the ball about the 30-yard line of Arizona. Then he fumbles it, and Arizona gets the ball back. Then you had the big catch from Jalen Reagor at the 1, and he fumbles it. Then you had they had another forced fumble on Arizona, and they failed to recover. To me, that's 3 missed scoring opportunities. Because if they had the ball in any one of those, they'd have been in scoring range. The offense could move the ball between the 20s. The Cardinals' defense really stipend once they got in the red zone. And I thought it was a mistake last night. You needed a touchdown because this is what I've come to realize with this new kickoff. When they kick the ball, it happened to the Texans this week. It happened to the Chargers this week. It's happened to a couple other teams this year. when they get the field goal and there's only a minute and a half left, every team is kicking it through the end zone because they don't want to risk a huge return, right? Let's give them the ball at the 30. With kickers nowadays, they just need 30 yards. They got a minute and a half NFL offense to get 30 yards. And I think it shows me that you can no longer be conservative. I thought the Texans got too conservative this week. They had a good drive going at the end of the game. C.J. Stroud was making the plays when they needed to, and they took it out. I know Joe Mixon was running off the bill, but I think the same thing happened with the Chargers. I think they got conservative last night. They needed the touchdown. And they had the stop on fourth down, the back-to-back tush pushes they stopped. The way that defense played, I was shocked that the Chargers couldn't pull this one out.
Let's move it, brother. Best performance by a player, and I got James Conner.
He was good.
Right there, brother. 101 yards rushing, 51 yards receiving, and you said it. He is the best player right now playing for the Arizona Cardinals. And, you know, he's playing really, really good, but the question I have to ask about the Cardinals, you know, we're supposed to be talking about how great James Conner because he's great, and he's been playing well since he's been over there, and this year he's really been playing well. Marvin Harrison Jr., what the hell's going on? Y'all know what's going on?
I think my opinion is they are just not getting him involved enough. I feel like we haven't seen a lot of plays where it's drawn up for him. You know, that's what the Jets, Wilson had the slow start. They started drawing up some plays for him. And I feel like they're just not. They're not using him. How can you expect, when you don't use him all night, and then you finally throw him a ball and he drops it, you're surprised? He's cold. You know, get him warm. I really think they're just not using his talent. I do not think it's a Marvin Harrison Jr. problem because you see he runs crisp routes. You know, last night, I think it was a perfect example. They hit Greg Dortch for a touchdown in the end zone. I get it. Great play. He scored. Marvin Harrison was one-on-one. Where all the dominant wide receivers that I can think of in NFL history, if it's first and goal and you got it at the 5, you're throwing that fade. Give your 6'4" receiver that's got the advantage a chance. And I just don't think they're giving him chances.
All right. Brandon, who's your best performance?
Yeah, so really in this, I just saw Gibbs in Detroit. And, you know, for 15 carries, 116 yards, averaging 7.7 a carry, 2 touchdowns, and then receiving 4 catches for 44 yards against a really good Minnesota Vikings team. That was just impressive, I think, really, for me to see. And there's nothing left, I guess you could say on that. It's just an impressive performance there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Clint, who you got?
He was my running back pick. It was Saquon Barkley, man. The return to the Giants, 70-something yards. He averaged 10 a clip. He had the touchdown. And that was all by the third quarter. You know, the fourth quarter, he didn't even play. I give mad respect to Saquon. Nick Sirianni, I don't know if y'all saw the audio after the game. Went to him and said, hey, we'll get you. He said, nah, let him eat, man. Just really respectable player to go out on the field. I mean, Jalen Hurts, he only threw the ball like 14 times. He only had 100 yards. Why? You don't need to do that. That's what you can do when you got Saquon Barkley going clip. He was like I said, RB2 on the week, and he only played 3 quarters. Just great performance by him. He really shone through.
I'll just keep saying it over and over and over and over again. The teams that ran the football well won football games.
Almost. Houston did it.
Won football games. I'm just simply saying, they win them. But there's a reason why. We'll talk about that here, right now. Worst performance. There's a reason why the Texans did win, because C.J. Stroud had a horrible game. He was 10 for 21, 86 yards.
I disagree. Okay, so yes, the Texans were horrible. I disagree with you picking Stroud. I think you should pick the Texans' offensive line. No, I'm dead serious. They could not get.
I'm not disagreeing with
you. The Green Bay defense went because it was amazing. They were blitzing every play, but every wide receiver was covered. The Green Bay defense played the perfect game because they even gave up 3 turnovers to offense. Shout out to that Green Bay defense. They had the best game plan of any team this week.
Jared Goff was pressured. In fact, he was sacked several times in his particular football game. But you know what Jared Goff did? He made passes. And he made completions. And even though he was getting hit.
Dell dropped a touchdown in the end zone. I'm not putting this on Stroud.
I would put it on Stroud. Stroud's not looked as... Y'all keep... And I keep saying... I've been saying this now for a few weeks. There's holes in that
I don't disagree.
Game. There's holes in that
Without Nico and the offensive line isn't playing as a cohesive unit right now.
But I'm saying there's film on Stroud now. There's film on him.
He's still making great plays. He had a bad game. Josh Allen went 9 for 21 the other day.
Bring who you got.
Okay.
I have a lot of opinions today.
Okay, yeah. So, I agree with both points here. I have C.J. Stroud written down.
Oh, wait a second. Let's talk about it some more.
Hold on. The Texans' offensive line was horrible in that game.
Yes, they were.
The Green Bay Packers got pressure after pressure. The receivers, everything was covered.
Yeah.
I disagree with you in the sense that they got film. He plays really good when that offensive line holds up. Green Bay was just able to get pressure.
But I mean, that's the determining factor. The quarterbacks that can play, because anybody can play in a clean pocket. If you've got a clean pocket and you've got absolutely no pressure, you're gonna make plays.
But there's a difference between pressured on 20 to 30% of your plays and pressured on, what was it, 55? It was over half.
But that's why you like people like Joe Burrow, because when Joe Burrow has to face all that stuff all the time, and then he sits there and he makes that, then all of a sudden that's the the quarterback's so great and wonderful. Folks, that's all I'm saying is that he had a bad. It's not just the offensive line. He had a bad game too. So let's just be honest about that.
So, but the main reason I really kind of picked him for my worst performance is I've always thought if you get all the credit for the win, you get the credit for the losses. And I give C.J. Stroud a lot of credit when they win. I think he plays really good. But when they lose, you have to put the blame. Kind of on the quarterback. He's a great player. I still have the Texans going to the Super Bowl. This game didn't shake me of that pick. But it all starts and ends with the quarterback sometimes.
Right now in the AFC, you've got the Texans as the number one team.
I think they will go to Kansas City.
They're better than Kansas City right now.
They're going to get hot. They're going to get Nico back. Right now.
But I think when the playoffs come, this team can get hot. And I have a gut feeling they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
They're going to have to beat 4 really good teams right now. They're going to have to beat Baltimore. They're going to have to beat Kansas City. They're going to have to beat Buffalo and probably the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, so there's going to be 3 of those teams that they're going to have to face. And you think that the Houston Texans are going to beat all 3 of those teams?
I think they can if they get hot.
I think
this unit will get cohesive. It's all about talk to me in December.
This conversation will change when they trade for defensive backs at the deadline.
Okay. But you got Clint.
I gotta put this on Stafford. I was really disappointed. I thought this was gonna be a really easy. I know there's no easy wins in the NFL, but the Raiders have been in turmoil. The defense has been terrible outside of Max Crosby. Stafford didn't. Kyron's the reason they won that game, and he kind of like he had Mixon. He ran all over. They just couldn't get the win. For the Rams, they were fortunate enough to get the win. He just didn't get the ball to anywhere. I just was kind of disappointed in his performance. I just didn't think he looked very good. But hey, they did enough to win, I guess. So it is what it is.
Alrighty. Well, folks, we appreciate you watching, man. Thanks very much. We're gonna just keep rocking on rolling. We got a couple more episodes coming up at you. We've been the Rant Squad. I'm the Water Dog.
This is Clint Jordan.
And this is
Menard.
We are out of here.